by standing wise, I should say, we got Salvation. Salvation, how you doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. For everyone watching, I had to run around. I just changed my shirt. I realized I was wearing a light green shirt with dark green letters. I was drinking a Mountain Dew. And tell you what, with the green screen, can't be doing that crap. So we're here. We're finally put together. Finally got everything going. So thank you guys for checking everything out. Kiwi jumping in chat already saying number one best player in AMI. I mean, I think that's probably a fair argument at this point.
I'm not gonna argue against it.
So Salvation, this is your first season in RSC. How
Yep.
did you get into Rocket League, and specifically, how did you get into the league?
I actually started playing Rocket League like back when it was free on Steam. Like it had probably been like close to beta. Just mostly friends, having beers, playing games. So I never took it seriously. Um, Play once in a while, and then I came back about a year ago, and I realized all my friends that I did play with were now like GC2, GC3, and I'm sitting here in like platinum. I'm like, all right, we're gonna change this. So I decided to start playing, um, and then I found RSC on actually I think it was a Reddit post. And I was like, oh yeah, I've played leagues before. This seems fun. So here I am.
So here you are. You sign up a little bit before the season starts. Drafted what, fourth overall?
I think fifth, yeah,
Fifth
something like that.
overall. Um, Going potatoes. I don't rate you guys high at all. Um, then you start proving everyone wrong. How's the season been going for you guys so long? So far.
I'll tell you what, the first show with you and Suxy was really what lit a fire under our asses. um, because it was just like, oh wow, we know we're better than this. Like, let's do it. Because I knew nothing about any players in here, and it matched up perfectly. That like I got a team, we're all the same kind of people. We have a blast playing together. It's like, all right, let's just win this. So we've just been playing together, practicing, um, and it's been pretty good.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that too. Like, obviously, people watching know that I do this shit just for fun, just to kind of make the league more fun. And to hear that, like, there's a little bit of influence there that you guys kind of watch and go, oh shit, let's fucking prove them wrong. Like, that's awesome to me. I love that shit.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, it was just like, all right, he doesn't know who we are. Well, let's see if we can change that.
Well, you
And
did.
I think, yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, you absolutely did. I mean, I got to give you nothing but props, honestly.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say Kiwi down here saying Suxy and myself had some really bad takes in that episode. That's correct. I mean, that was the preview episode. Like that's where like no one knows anything. We played some preseason games. Like we'll just say some random stuff. It's fair. I mean, obviously Kiwi had some really bad takes himself. Don't get me wrong. So it just proves that it's early season. You never know. And to your point, I mean, you saying you don't know anybody in the league because you're new. I mean, realistically, I think we had. I mean, I'm very much a technicality that I joined last season. Like I was on a team for 2 matches. But then besides me, you had like 3 or 4 players that are returning. So it's a brand new league. Like it's hard to know
Right.
anybody, and um, I mean, I think it's great. It's cool to get new people in. And it's cool to kind of figure all that stuff out. It really makes that scouting period before the season really important.
Yeah,
And
I mean, it was just, I mean, the private tryouts were a little better to kind of figure things out. I mean, Combine is just a terrible way to meet people
oh,
and
for
figure
sure.
out who everybody is. So I like when I got drafted, I was just like, man, I don't know any of these guys. I think I've played in like one match, but I couldn't tell their voices apart. I don't know who they are. And I'm like, this is gonna suck. And then we started playing together, and I'm like, oh, never mind. This is gonna be awesome.
No, for sure. And it was funny too because like I mean, in my perspective, I went to a couple private workouts or a couple private tryouts, but I knew I was going to get signed to a team before the draft, just
Right.
because we're how low I was rated. And I'm not saying I'm good, like don't take that, but I'm better than what I was rated, so like it made sense for a team to pick me up and then use a fourth round pick on me instead of drafting me in like the late second, early third. So I went to a couple workouts until I had a bunch of offers on the table, and then I was like, I'll hang out in combines. I'm just gonna shit along. Like, I just like just gonna meeting people, having fun. Like, you never like take it seriously. And then, of course, once I signed, then there was a whole bunch of work or tryouts that I didn't go to because why would you invite somebody on another team to your own private tryout? So I missed a lot of that stuff at the end, and it showed that I missed stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of players that I thought were going to come out like really hot. Like I thought they were going to be like top people, and it kind of faltered. And then other people that I was like, I just wrote them off. And then you start playing them in real matches, and you're like, oh, no, that guy's got something. Like he's pretty good.
For sure.
It's kind of cool to explore that.
No, I mean I'm not. Forgive me, anybody that I don't mention, because there's way too many people to mention on that team or on that list. But like, even just guys on your team, like I expected Dabs to be very good. I expected you to be a very contributing player. But then like Anarchist, I thought he was average. I was like, yeah, he's whatever. The dude's been destroying people. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
it's great to see. I love it.
Yeah. What is he like? Number 5 in SPV or something like that?
He's higher than I am. I know that. Like it's
He
great.
kills
Like
it.
you look at SPV and it's Slolo above me, and then it's Nua and Potatoes. Like that's what we got. And Haro.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's good. Suxy, this is Salvation from Potatoes. But yeah, so season goes along. What is your expectations for the season?
I mean, I'd assume it's gonna get a little more cutthroat with the shit talking that we like to do. Um, but we'll see. I mean, it's any given match. I mean, at the end of the day, we're amateur. Like any team can sweep another team based on you know any number of reasons. So it's kind of hard to see how it's gonna go because I've been wrong every time I predicted things with how the other team's matches are gonna go. Um, haven't been wrong about ours though, so I'm happy about that.
Well, as long as you keep winning and keep predicting that you're gonna win, then that works.
Yeah, false confidence is nice.
Yeah, the good thing for everybody is anybody that's been around Amy before knows that we are so early in the season, and it's not about who is the best today. It's about who is the best come playoffs. So if you're worried about Potatoes being way better than you, you should be. But also at the same time, like put the time in, get better. You'll be there. And tell you what,
Absolutely.
if you want to come up with custom cars for you guys all to wear as uniforms, that might help too, because Potatoes got everyone beat right now.
I'm glad we made it a thing.
So how did that come to be? I mean, for anybody not aware of kind of what you got going on, go ahead and explain that. But then also, like, where did that come from?
Uh, so I had played in leagues before we had uniforms, and we were all playing. I think it was before the first match, and we were just kind of like BSing, like going over the rule book because it was my first time, and I'm a captain. I'm like, I wonder if we have uniforms. And I read through the rule book, we did, and I was like, we should probably make uniforms. And then it was Sniper Wolf who's like, oh, let's do this. Yeah, absolutely. And he was like really on board. I'm like, all right. Let's do it. I'm all for whatever. People are gonna remember us, that's for sure.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, so you guys got what is it? Is it the rust paint job? It's like it looks like a dirty
Yeah,
brown paint, and then you got the planted like cactuses at the
yeah. The
top there.
succulents on top. Yeah.
Succulents, that's what it is. Like oh man, I tell you what,
I
for anyone watching, we scrimmed Potatoes last night, and like we jumped in, and we're like, holy shit, this is fucking great. Like I just loved it because it not only was it we were talking before, and I've already said this is Salvation, but not only is it a uniform, but it's the perfect Annie uniform. Like you got a topper, you got just like bad looking paint. It's not like a clean car at all. It's just great. Like it is the pure potato.
I
Oh
look like a
man,
fried potato. All right. I see that.
I love it. But tell you what, let's switch gears real quick. Let's jump into results for this past week and talk about some things that's been happening because it's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
And here we are. I'm going to zoom in on this for our viewers. But we'll look about this past week, starting with Monday. I think most games went about kind of how they're expected. We'll kind of go over them. First one, Crimson Cries versus Potential, ended in a 2-2 tie. Any thoughts on that?
No. I mean, I would say they both could be dangerous teams that can kind of hang around, but that seems about fair.
I think it's interesting to me because especially this specific matchup because I find both of them as teams that are figuring themselves out and really like getting good. But
Absolutely.
like it's gonna be heartbreaking to like feel that and then go against a team that you expect to not be very good and then like tie them.
Yeah.
But where they're both like kind of exploding at the same time, I think it's a good
Yeah.
result, and we're gonna see some pretty big things from both teams going forward.
Yeah. I agree.
Nua 4-0 versus Yorkies. I'll start off
Knock
with
the
this
hell out
one.
of me.
Yeah, so I'll start off with this one then, and we'll go to your kind of takes.
Okay.
It it didn't the score didn't really surprise me, but how the games went a little bit did. They were all good games. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything was a blowout, but Yorkies we went in knowing Yorkies defense was very good. Then they had just 4-0'd a team the previous week. They 4-0'd Shirali, and we're like, "Ugh, this could be a kind of hard matchup for us. We didn't really like line up great against them on paper, like during our scrims against them, and then during preseason. But then they came out like putting shots on net. Like they came out a little bit more aggressive than we expected, and it ended up going really well for us. I was a little bit surprised by like kind of how it went, but I think we felt pretty good on that one. I'll let you go ahead.
No, I mean that's pretty much where I'm at with it. I mean, it was just didn't expect it to be a sweep either way. To be honest with you.
Then next we're going to go to Radio Waves versus Shirali. Radio Waves takes that 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, Radio Waves was strong. I mean, we came out and I think we 4-0'd them the first week, but those were not easy games. But I mean, again, Radio Waves is again that team that can sit in that 3-4 place and absolutely make a run.
Oh, for sure. So I'm not sure if you saw any of the replays. I didn't really watch any of them, like actually in. I watched some of them through ball chasing. But like game one of that series, it was a 6-0. Shirali didn't put a single shot on net. Not a single one of their players got over 100 points. Haro had 4 goals himself. Like,
Yeah,
it was insane. Now, I do think there's a little bit of good team picking on not a great team. But still, like, it should show you that radio waves are a little bit scary right now.
yeah,
When
they have
Haro
the
shows up,
potential.
oh,
Yep, they have if they have the second or third person, to, like, because we all know Hart was good. Like he should be top 3 or 4 in the league.
yeah.
So it's only a matter of time if they can figure it out. He can do some damage.
And then one I think both going to probably have a lot to talk about. Potatoes versus Brass, 3-1. Your first loss of the season.
Yeah, yeah. Brass is actually a solid team. I mean, surprised a little bit. But they took a game off us. I really can't give them any crap for that. Like they played hard the whole match, the whole series rather. So they it was motivation for this week. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and I will say, of course, we scrimmed them that night that you guys played them. I was like, seems better than I thought they were. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, because that's another one of those teams that I kind of thought was a write off, and then you play them and you're like, damn. Like, do I have a towel for my hands? Like, this is kind of sweaty.
Right. I mean, they took a game off you guys. I mean, I think that puts them right in the conversation. We'll talk about them a little bit more when it comes to Wednesday, but not a
Yeah,
bad team for sure. We go to Wednesday, first game, Potatoes versus Shirali, 4-0. I don't think anyone expected anything different there.
they played well. I mean, the score. I mean, we did beat them, but like, it was a lot tougher of a game than I thought. They've improved from the times we've scrimmed. We'll put it that way.
Gotcha. That's good to hear. And realistically, like, I don't want anyone to think I'm up here clowning on Shirali. They took 2 games off us in match day 1. Like, we split with them match day 1, so they obviously can compete. I just don't think they are a top team right now.
I'd agree with that.
Then you go Radio Waves, Crimson Cries. Crimson Cries comes up 3-1 in that
Another
matchup.
another big upset,
That's
at
huge.
least in my mind. Yeah,
Yeah,
huge.
I think that's going to be your proof that Crimson Cries is figuring things out, and
Yep.
they're coming along. Impressive, impressive. Radio Waves is a good team,
Yeah.
so coming up with the win there, I think is huge. And another big upset. Yorkie's potential comes up with a 3-1 win as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know Yorkies is going through a lot of things with getting their everything figured out. But God, on paper they are scary. So if they get it sorted out, man, they'll be right back up there. I wouldn't count them out for anything for losing for potential. And congrats on potential for bringing it back.
Yeah, we talked last week. Had Bad Example on as my guest last week, and we talked about how difficult it is for potential to be kind of that team where you had a lot of roster mix up. Um, they signed Cobra Kai in the offseason. He's no longer on that team. They picked up Sand Reach. CB Hip Hop and Bernatra is people that's been in the league for a while now. Like, it's a little bit more experienced team, but it's not a team that has played together a lot. But I think
Right.
I think they're starting to figure that out. I think the 2-2 game against Crimson Cries was a little bit frustrating at the time, but now with Crimson Cries going 3-1 and them going 3-1, both teams can kind of look back at that 2-2 and go, "Oh, that team we played is a lot better than we thought they were." And we
Right.
both kind of proved that to each other this week. They could definitely make a run. I mean,
Yeah.
like I say, it's not who's the best team today. It's who's the best team in playoffs. If they can sneak into that third, fourth slot and then make a run, they're there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And last match was mine, Brass versus Nua. I'll let you start on this.
I mean, we've already covered it. Brass is scary. I mean, you're in second place, but I mean, it's going to show. We might struggle against them a second time. That I don't know. I mean, it's just God. I really don't want to do an Al Pacino quote, but like any given Sunday, man,
Seriously,
like
seriously.
it, you never know. So I mean, I think there was a good match. I mean, 2-2's not decisive either way.
Yep. I'll say it was frustrating on my end. We switched over in the beginning of the year. We were playing. Everyone sits once, just rotating everyone through, so everyone got 3 games. And we've wanted to focus down a little bit and be able to get more practice in. So we've gone down to 2 lineups. We played Papa Lane game 1 and game 2. Game 1 was a very decisive win, very easy win for Nua. Game 2 was very close. Nua came out, and then I came in for Papa Lane game 3 and 4. Game 3 was a pretty. I mean, it was only 2-0, but it was still a very decisive 2-0 for Brass. It definitely stung a little bit. Then game 4, like tie game, 0 seconds left. I mean, Stover has been talking about it quite a bit, but he put a good shot on net. I got the initial save, and then it kind of kept bouncing around with 0 seconds and found its way into the net. So
Yeah, I mean, in some world they call that a double tap. I mean,
you know,
it's not a world I live in,
no,
but
me neither. But I've seen people call it that. In our twos league, we play with Solo and I play with Shazam Poof, and we joke with him all the time because he's a guy that's been going for double taps and can hit them rarely, but can hit them.
right.
So anytime there's like a scuffed one that's not really a double tap, we call it a double touch. We're like, oh, you double touched it, Shazam! And he's like, shut the fuck up, guys.
Yeah, I
So I'd
don't
say
know. We
Stover-
might have to invent a new word for whatever the hell Stover did in that. Because
Stover put a ball on net, and then it found
Yeah.
its way in.
that was a
to him,
Stover
though.
touch.
Props to him. It went in. That's all that matters. So good on them. That's a scary team. We all knew Alpha Slayer was a scary player when we played him in the off season. Obviously, he got picked up number 1. He's good, and the rest of the team's not bad either.
Yeah.
See where that puts us as far as standings are concerned. Currently, first place, 15-1 is Potatoes. Second place, 12-4 is Nua. Then tied for third place, we have Radio Waves and Yorkies, both at 8-8. Potential right behind them at 7-9. Brass and Crimson Cries tied for 6 at 6-10. And Shirali sitting at the bottom, 2-14. And again, their 2 wins came off us. Just gonna put that out there. They've had it rough, but they've also had a very rough schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. I looked at their schedule and I'm like, these guys are better than that. What's going on? And then I looked at their schedule and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you look at who they've played. The teams that they have played against have a over 600 win rating or win record. There we go. Like the strength of schedule is right up there as the hardest with Brass. It'll get easier from down the road, and they'll start figuring some things out, I think.
Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, competition breeds improvement, so I'd love to see all of us just keep going at it.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. But at this point, I think it's time for us to take a quick commercial break, say thank you to our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Ship my pants? Right here? Ship my pants, you're kidding.
You can ship your pants right here.
You hear that? I can ship my pants for free.
Wow, I just may ship my pants.
Yeah, ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants, Dad.
I just shipped my pants, and it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed. If you can't find what you're looking for in store, we'll find it at Kmart.com right now and ship it to you for free.
Give me a mountain and nothing to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and smooth, refreshing Mountain Dew. Yeah. Give me a river, give me a dew. Give me my good friends, give me a dew. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
What's the difference between a little fun and a lot?
At last, move fast. Definitely Doritos dance floor. Back door, definitely Doritos, Doritos. Time flies, white lies, takes two, says who? Definitely. All right. Why not? Big shot Doritos.
So, nacho cheese Doritos brand tortilla chips. Definitely.
And we're back. Big thank you to our sponsors, Doritos, Mountain Dew, N-Creds, and Kmart, keeping our lights on, keeping our shows going. Appreciate all you guys. And finally, we got a new segment because we are starting to get enough clips to start showing them. First off, Kiwi, thanks for sending in your clip. It has since been deleted. I'm assuming it was just like one of those GIF year games, only stays for so long. So we don't hate you. That's not why we're not showing your clip. It's just gone. Anyway, we do have about 4 clips we want to show you from our viewers. If you have any clips that you want to send in, just join our Discord and post the clips. We do want clips that we're hitting games, and other than that, we'll show them for you. First off, we have Ethereal Doom. That was week 1. I can't remember if it was match day 1 or match day 2. But that's must have been match day 2. That's when we played against him and hit that on us. It was pretty impressive.
It was a solid shot. I'd be happy with that any day of the week.
Seriously. My next one was sent in from Benatra. He didn't tell me anything, but I'm assuming you're going to want to ignore the giant whiff at the beginning, but the rest of the clip is pretty solid. We'll say, I guess it's not a whiff, so they'll just hit it over him, but decent redirects. Yeah, Kiwi's saying it's actually kind of a crazy redirect. I'm with you. This one, we did have instructions. This is Slolo. This is not from Slolo's perspective. And we are told to ignore the specific goal that it went into. Take that however you want. I'm gonna back this up. Slolo sent in 2 clips. This one's actually the good one. We will get to the other one later. Yeah, solid goal. Okay, this is why. This is where it is. This is the one Slolo told us to ignore which goal it went into. Slolo, that was a crazy
Oh, okay. Yeah, right church, wrong pew.
Yes. Whoops. I'm going to keep... Oh, this is our last clip. Okay. This one sent in from Anarchist. Also, if you didn't see Potato's car, here you go. Thing is absolutely dope. And this save is actually nuts. I would have been so mad.
He just does that. I don't know.
Like, oop, I'm out of position. Anyway, let me just boost upside down to exactly where this ball's gonna go. I would have been so mad if that was my shot.
I mean, to be fair, he was probably on car cam at that point, and the ball just appeared. But I'm gonna pretend like he wasn't.
Hey, I'll give it to him. That was pretty solid.
Yeah. He hits a lot of good shots that he doesn't get credit for.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's good. Next segment is our Player of the Week segment. just heads up, this will be announced on the AMI server Discord either later tonight or tomorrow. Just haven't had time to get those together. Solo's our guy that gets that. Nothing against him. Just hasn't had time to get it together. So keep an eye out. That will be announced soon. He told me to make the announcement that CBSQ scored 4 goals a game, and he played 10 games this week. And just roll with that. So take that as you will. And we'll keep our eye out. Solo's saying he just got home today. They will be out tomorrow. So if you're watching this on Thursday, they will be out Friday. If you're watching this any other time, just go ahead and check the Discord. It might already be there. Next thing we got is we can make some predictions for next week, which fortunately or unfortunately, depending on who you are, we do have Monday off for Memorial Day. So we will only have next Wednesday's games to talk about. One of them, which looks like the one we're starting with, might get a little interesting. So game 1 Wednesday, Nua at Potatoes.
Yeah. I mean, the potato in me is saying 4-0 Potatoes, but yeah, any given time. I mean, I think we've only played together twice.
Yep.
So I mean, we'll see. I mean, we're starting to vibe as a team. So I would go. I'll either call it a sweep or a 3-1 us.
Yeah, so we played twice. For the viewers, we did a scrim in preseason where I think we took most games of that scrim pretty easily.
Yep.
We scrimmed last week. I think we took 1 game the entire time. Some games were closer than others, and we pretty much got spanked. I'll be completely real about that. So I'm happy about it, don't get me wrong. It feels weird saying that, but it finally gave us some replays to kind of look at and try to improve with. So
Yeah. I mean, that works. I mean, you guys were the only scrim we lost, whereas like that was motivation. So we played a little extra hard.
Yep.
Last night, but we'll see. I mean, it'd be interesting. It'll be fun either way.
We'll get it back. At this point, I think the best I can hope for, like if we come out of that in a 2-2, I'm going to be very happy. With that said, I think I'm going to say 1-3. I'm going to say Potatoes takes that 3-1. If we can take 2 games, I'll be very happy. If we take 1, it'll still give us something to kind of build off from. Yeah. Deck 4 Rage quits RSC during the match. That's a headline right there. You might get me. There'll be no more show. I don't know who's gonna. I guess probably Super Shooter will probably be our captain from now on. That's good. Salvation takes over as new host of Amateur Hours. Kiwi. Oh, man.
Hard pass.
That's so good. I love it. Next game. These predictions are going to be hard this week. I'm going to be real with you. Potential versus Radio Waves. What are you thinking here?
In my heart, I'm rooting for Radio Waves. I don't know. I mean, Potential showed up last week. Hard. So, I mean, they're coming off an upset win. But Radio Waves is also Radio Waves. And they're also coming off... I mean, they're coming off a hard loss, so we'll see what motivates either of them more. I would go... I'm comfortable going 2-2 on that.
I'm going to go 3-1, and I'm going to give it to Potential. And if you would have asked me that matchup a week ago, I would have said 4-0 the other way. So
Exactly. Yeah, that's what's throwing me off.
Potential, if you're watching this, don't make me look like an idiot here, please. But yeah, that could go either way. That's going to be a good matchup. Another real good matchup. Brass versus Yorkies.
Yeah, I mean, Brass is a tough team. We haven't even got to scrim Yorkies yet, so I can't say much. I know most of their players, and I know they should be good. They are good players. So I'm gonna have to give it to Brass 3-1.
We do have a Yorkies 4-0 in the chat. I would love to see it. But I'm going to be with you. I'm going to go 3-1 Brass. In our last matchup, we got Shirali versus Crimson Cries.
This could go either way. I mean, they aren't. Neither of them are like poor. I mean, I think they're both the least rated teams, but that doesn't really matter at this point. So, tell you what, I sweated my ass off playing Shirali last week or last match. I'm gonna give it to them probably 3-1.
I guess a solid prediction. I'm going to go 2-2. And I think Shirali, if they pull off a 2-2, they can be happy with it.
Yeah.
Something to build on. Then, pretty close to our last thing, we're going to do another transition to tier list time. So, I'm going to go ahead and reset this. This is how Bad had it. For reminders, Bad Example had Nua and Potatoes in S tier, Yorkies and Shirali in A tier, Crimson Cries and Radio Waves in B tier, and Brass and Potential in C tier. I'm going to go ahead and hit a reset. Up until this point, I've been letting the guests completely do this by themselves. I'm still going to do that, but I might make adjustments and call it my own after.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page with both things, so it shouldn't be too far different.
I would tend to agree with that, and I think we're far enough into the season where this is starting to be something you can actually puzzle out a little bit. It's still a little bit of a shot in the dark, but at least you can justify your answers, whereas before, not even close.
Who do you want? You just want to go left from right?
You can do however you want to.
We'll just get us out of the way. We're 15-1. We're S tier.
Yep.
And then I would say Shirali. No, not Shirali. Nua and Radio Waves can go A tier. And probably Yorkies too.
Okay.
Lagging behind. Not sure who I said yet.
Yeah, a little bit of that stream.
You know what? Actually, Brass is up there too. I'm being really nice with everybody today because I don't want to make people mad. I've already done enough to Stover today. There's no worst team. That's the problem. Is I would say whether we pick B or C, these three are probably just the second tier team. They're like probably B.
You want me to throw them all into B?
Yeah, I would say that.
I know Thomas wants to be an F tier by himself.
He can go F tier himself anytime he wants.
So here's Salvation's tier list. S tier is Potatoes. A tier is Nua, Radio Waves, Yorkies, and Brass. And then B tier is Crimson Cries, Potential, and Shirali. I think I'm going to make only 2 adjustments here.
Okay.
Just 2 adjustments here. I'm going to move Shirali down to C, and I'm going to move Yorkies down to B. And that'll be mine. Renegade, how you doing, buddy? I'm playing Rocket League now. That's what we're doing. Renegade's an old StarCraft friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
So mine's not much different. S tier is going to be Potatoes. A tier is going to be Nua, Radio Waves, and Brass. B tier, actually, you know what? I'm in the mood to piss people off today. Radio Waves is also B tier. Get fucked, Radio Waves. Just kidding.
That's fair.
But yeah, we'll go Potatoes S tier, Nua Brass A tier, Crimson Cries, Potential, Radio Waves, Yorkies B tier, and then Shirali is going to be in C tier.
That seems fair. I mean, like I said, I hope Shirley proves us wrong because they played their little hearts out last week, last match. So we'll see. That was tough.
Yeah, and that's obviously a perspective you have that I don't. Just being the team that scrimmed them, I haven't played them. Like I said, I can't dog them because they 2-2'd us, but their performance just hasn't been there since. Last thing, we'll transition back to our couch. I'm not wearing my headset today, so I can't imagine how much. I can only imagine how much bleed over I'm getting there. Oh well, you guys will deal with it. Superstar Wind. Is there a schedule for these matches? Yes. I will go ahead and post the link in the chat. You'll get down to the bottom here. You can pick all these things. If you want the schedule, go to amateur schedule and report, and results. Sorry. And then, like I said, for our last thing, first, obviously, if anybody in chat has any questions for Salvation, go ahead and throw them in chat. But other than that, first time that I'm going to ask this question and actually feel bad about my stipulation. Who do you think is going to win the championship this year? You cannot pick your own franchise.
I would definitely. Obviously, you would be the second choice as far as that goes. You guys are solid. Other than that, like out of left field, I don't know why. I do think Radio Waves can make a huge comeback. Based on, we'll see if they can get together some synergy or, oh god, I hate corporate speak. But we'll see if they can do that. But they're a strong team, and I think they might be able to hang around there and pull an upset. So I'd still at this point have to go with it's either going to be us or you.
I don't think that's crazy. I think Radio Waves really does have a chance there. I mean, I think every team has a chance, but Radio Waves is kind of I would probably put them as my fourth team right now. Haro plays, they get play from other teams, can absolutely do it. Kiwi asks, Salvation, when will Tech 4 accept the inevitability of you becoming the new amateur hour host?
I have zero interest in this, buddy. Sorry.
I might just have to go attack your it at this point. I mean, hell, I could probably still run the thing. I'll just kind of move myself over to the couch. I'll move your character to behind the desk, and
that would devolve very quickly.
Oh man. Well, looks like we're not getting too many other questions in chat. Is there anything you want to say before you go?
No, I mean, just other than a big thank you to honestly everybody I've met in the league. I mean, this has been this is the first time I've been excited to actually play and taking the time to practice. So thank you guys for doing what you do, and I mean, it's been fun, but in my mind, Stover still sucks. That's really all I got.
I agree with both points, and I can't say it any better myself. Amateur hour, out.